To give you a better sense of why this is such a crisis right now, currently there are an estimated 11 million immigrants in the U.S. illegally. 40,344 people were detained at the southern border in May alone.
So when you break it down, from May 5th to June 9th, 2,235 families were detained, 2,206 adults were referred for prosecution, and therefore 2,342 children were declared unaccompanied, then detained and turned over to the Department of Health and Human Services. This is very complicated. So we brought in NBC's justice correspondent Pete Williams to break it down because there have been so many different claims. Let's just start with how we got here. People keep hearing from President Trump, this is because of the Democrats. These are their laws. Others say, no, Jeff Sessions started the zero tolerance policy. If you cross the border illegally, you're going to get prosecuted. What is the truth of the matter?
So it's two things, really. Number one, the zero tolerance policy, which is the thing that says if you cross the border illegal, you'll be referred to prosecution. That's when the children are separated almost immediately. But a second part of this is the decision to stop holding or to stop releasing people while they're waiting for their immigration hearings. So adults are now held in detention instead of releasing them with an ankle monitor or forcing them to post a bond and giving them a date when they're supposed to show up for their immigration hearing. That's the so-called catch and release policy that President Trump wanted to stop. So when they're held now for sometimes months, a long-standing federal court ruling kicks in that says children cannot be detained for more than 20 days.
So to break it down further, how did it used to be done? Because, you know, under past administrations, these same laws have been on the books. What changed such that now the effect is families are being separated?
So the two things changed, zero tolerance and ending catch and release. But in the past, administrations have sort of flirted with this idea of using family separations or family detention to try to discourage people from coming here. But for example, the Obama administration would hold mothers and their children in detention. But that's when that court ruling kicked in that said, no, you can't do that for more than 20 days.
The question comes up when we hear those kids' cries, like what does happen to these children? How long can they be held? Are they reunited? Are some of them never going to be reunited with their parents?
So this, I think, is part where the system is overwhelmed, and there are several lawsuits now pending on this question. Immigration advocates are saying that there isn't a good enough system for reuniting parents, that there should be a hearing whenever you want to take a child away. And I would suspect that a judge in one of these big class action cases is going to rule on this pretty soon. But there was just a lawsuit, for example, filed yesterday saying a woman who came here from Guatemala, it's been 4 days since she was released, and she still doesn't have any idea where her son is.
So if you have somebody if you cross the border illegally because of zero tolerance now, you're going to get arrested and prosecuted. And in the old days, perhaps you wouldn't be. And that's the point at which children have to be separated because now the parents are going to go through the criminal justice system.
Yeah, let me just explain that, because what happens is the parents are referred to the federal marshals. They go through the court system. That's a revolving door. They're in and out quite quickly. But at the point when they're separated, usually at the entry station, the child is then declared an unaccompanied minor. And another federal law kicks in that says they can't be held in immigration detention for more than 72 hours, and that's when they're referred to HHS.
Okay, is this just quickly, is this deterrent? Is this working? Are immigrants looking at this and saying, uh-oh, I'm not going to cross because of what I see?
I think the honest answer is it's too soon to tell. Border apprehensions, as you just noted, were up last month, but on the other hand, the detention of families was down slightly. So we'll know in another month or two.
Okay. All right, Pete, thank you very much.
Hello, Today fans. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking that button down there and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives.